Right, we're now at the cladding stage of the project. So I've got some feather edge boards I'm going to use, and the first job is to get the battens on. So I need to get the battens screwed in, and I want them to go into the studs, not just into the OSB. But not only do we need battens on, we need a little piece to go around the windows as trim. So I can get one piece cut to the length of the windows, that's screwed 90 degrees to a batten, and then they can be put around the windows.
With the bits cut to length, I could get them screwed together on the workshop floor, then take them outside and get them put into place around the windows. Then I could get the other battens, that are just simple strips of wood, put up.
Now with all the battens up around the windows and doors, I need to do something similar in the corner. So what I've got is a 47 by 47 square post. Now I need to get this cut to the right length, but because the roof slopes, I need to actually put the angle on it with the cut. Then I can get a couple of battens attached to it, similar to how I did around the windows, and then they can go into the corners.
So these corner bits would do two things. The battens give you something to screw the cladding onto, but that corner bit is just a nice transition and will make it all look smart.
So now I can get the feather edge cladding on. Now I got this before I even started the build, so I left it outside under a tarp, and now it's sat a few weeks in the actual building, because when you get it, it tends to be quite damp, so it's dried out nicely. Now what I've done is a little story stick, and I've measured out where the boards need to go, incorporating a 40mm overlap for each board. Now I need something for this to reference off, and obviously this side wall is sloped, so I'm going to screw on a straight edge, and then I can keep moving that around and reference off that. To learn how to do this, don't really follow my instructions. I'll put a link down to a Clevett video, and it's really very good, and he explains it all.
Now, if you've got a nail gun, that's the quickest way to do cladding. I don't, so I'm going to use some screws, and I've got these stainless steel ones. I get my story stick pushed up against my reference edge, and then my bit of cladding lined up with the bottom mark. Then I can get a screw in the centre. Now it's just a question of keep working my way up and getting them all in place. Now these are 2.4 metre long lengths, and they go in place with no cutting whatsoever, so it's been easy up to this point. Now though, I need to notch out for the window frame, so I just mark it all out, and then I'm going to use the jigsaw to cut it. So I need to cut these bits either side of the window so I can mark it out, set up a stop block and get the bits cut to the same length. Then they can get installed in the same way using the story stick. Now I'm at the top of the wall, I need an angled bit, so I get that marked out and then I just use the jigsaw to rip along the line, and then that can be installed in place to finish off the wall. With the side wall done, I can then get exactly the same thing done on the front.
So I've got 2 sides clad today, and I have to say I'm absolutely shattered, but I've just packed up and I'm going to have a stubby of beer. So it's going to rain tomorrow, but then I should get the other 2 sides done in a day because the back wall's really easy. Just think, one thing I wanted to mention, got the mitre saw in front of me. This wasn't a fresh battery this morning. I think I used it to do all the battening yesterday. I got to the end of the day and I was thinking, oh, that must need charging after doing all those cuts for 2 sides. I don't know if you can see that, but we have 4 out of the 5 bars still going, so I'm super impressed by that. Anyway, that's it for now. More cladding tomorrow or the next day.
Now I'll just show you what I'm doing around the back. So I could put 2 bits of cladding on and stagger the joint, but what I've decided to do is run a bit up the centre so that I can just put 1 bit up either side, and the first bit doesn't need cutting, the second bit does, but I think that looks neater than a staggered joint.
So as you see, I did the back first because that was using the most long lengths. Then I could get the 4th side done, and you can see I'm getting much quicker at it now.
All 4 walls are now clad, so the last job I want to get done on the outside is put some guttering on the back. Now, I've got some black guttering. I'm just going to lay it out along the front so I can work out where the cuts and joins need to go, and then we can get it installed.
Unfortunately, I couldn't get a bit quite long enough, so I had to get 2 bits and we're going to have to put a joint in. So I worked out how long it needed to be, and then I could get that cut down on the mitre saw. This stuff cuts really easy on the mitre saw. I've got these brackets to attach the guttering, so I get them screwed on the back, making sure each one is lower than the one before, so it's sloping down towards the end. I got the gutter all clipped together and I managed to install it in one piece. It was a bit wobbly, but it went on okay. Before going any further, I just want to make sure all the water runs in the right direction. And we seem to be fine, so I can continue with the downpipe.
So I now need a place for this water to actually go, and what I've got is an old whiskey barrel. So it needs a solid base. I have one of these grids, plastic grids, left over. So I'm going to dig down, get that put in, filled with gravel.
Now, a whiskey barrel probably isn't the most practical thing as a water butt, but it looks great and is going to be in keeping with this garden. I have one of these plastic water butt stands, but you won't see it once we get some planting around it, and then the barrel can go into place. And it's pretty heavy, but I managed to get it on there.
So there's a bit of water in it, just water I'm afraid. Well, I took this bung out to empty it, and now I wish you could smell that because it smells absolutely amazing. I'm a big whiskey fan, so yeah, I'm really enjoying this. But one thing I didn't bring with me was a hole saw to actually attach the guttering, but this seems to have worked out absolutely perfectly because these connectors I've got are just, could not be a better fit.
Had my first visitor in the room, must have liked the whiskey smell. So I work out how long I need the downpipe to be, and then I can get it cut on the mitre saw. I'm going to cut it slightly longer than I need it so that I can come back and trim it to the exact length. With the bits in place, I can work out the final length, trim it down to that, and then get it put together. And what I'm going to use is some of this contact cement.
Now, I bought a tap to go in the barrel. Now, this style of tap needs access to the inside to be able to screw it on. I can't get into the barrel apart from in one place, and that's this bung. So there's a hole in the centre. I'm going to get a screw in, use the claw hammer to pull it out, and then drill and fit this. Now, this is halfway up the barrel, so you won't be able to get the water right at the bottom. So what I'm going to do is, next time I'm in an antique shop or car boot sale, I'm going to pick up a beer barrel tap, which you hit in, drill a hole and whack in with a mallet.
So that's the tap installed in the bung. Then I can get the hessian wrapped back round it, in the hole, and tapped into place.
I'm all done for now on this project then. So what I did is I came over here for a couple of weeks, got the base down, got the walls up and the roof on and it all wrapped. Then I went home for, well, it was exactly 2 weeks, made the doors and the window, and then I've come back again and I've spent just over a week getting the doors and the windows installed and getting all the cladding on. So from the outside, that's it done really. There's a couple of bits I want to do to the door, but yeah, it's there. So the inside needs finishing. Unfortunately, the electrician came out and installed some bits, and he's put these metal back boxes on, just screwed onto the OSB sheathing, and they're way back from the studs, so I've got to take it all out, and we don't even know what internal cladding we want, so I don't even know what style of back boxes. So it's a real shame this has all been done, and I'm just going to have to redo it all, but there you go. But I think the next job will be the ceiling, because the rafters are open to the elements at the moment, so I want to get some soffit boards on, some insulation in, and then a ceiling on, and that will really seal the place up and make it nice and usable. Then we can insulate the walls and get it clad at leisure. But I don't know when I'm going to do that, so basically that's the project done for now. During the summer, it's a usable room like this. So, thanks for watching. Thanks to my patrons, and please subscribe for more videos.